We have some news right now. Donald Trump has imposed 50% tariffs on Brazil. Why? Because he's upset that Brazil is going after its former president, Jair Bolsonaro, for inciting an insurrection. They exclude a number of things like aircraft parts and orange juice, but what they don't exclude is coffee. And Brazil is one of the largest exporters of coffee to the United States of America, which means your coffee prices are about to skyrocket. And they're going to skyrocket on August 6th as tariffs jack up prices of Brazilian coffee coming into the United States. And honestly, a 50% tariff would make it nearly impossible for some Brazilian exporters to even bring coffee into the United States, just given the complete cost of the entire process of getting it to the United States of America. Now, it's not the worst case scenario, as Brazil's finance minister says, because it excludes a number of things like orange juice, nuts, aircraft parts, and more. But at least coffee, that price is going to go up fast. So spread the word and follow along step to date on all the news you need to know about. More to come soon.
President Trump has pledged a 50% tariff on all Brazilian imports, including coffee and orange juice. If it goes into effect on August 1st, industry experts say prices could rise for both consumers and suppliers. Now, Brazil is the top supplier of orange juice to the U.S. and one of the largest coffee exporters globally. With current droughts hurting harvests, the industry is already under pressure. The average price of a pound of coffee beans in May was $7.93, up from $5.99 last year, and analysts predict a further 25-cent increase per cup, though it may take months to kick in. Quality could also drop. Brazil's beans are considered higher grade than those from other regions like Vietnam, which may struggle to meet the growing demand of America's coffee needs. Brazil also supplies 90% of fresh OJ and 55% of frozen orange juice to the US, and without a trade deal, both countries could feel the squeeze. But what do you think? Are these tariffs going to hurt America's breakfast routine, or are they going to strengthen our economy? Let us know in the comments and follow us here for more.
I love a good FAFO moment, and boy, did this MAGA supporter have one. Vincent Scardina, a small business owner who has a roofing company in Key West, voted for Donald Trump this year. And then on May 27th, ICE swooped in and abducted 6 of his workers, a third of his workforce. He lamented about how difficult it is to hire new people in a small community unlike a big city. He said sometimes it even takes years to train them. He also shared a story of another person in the community who lost 9 out of his 10 landscaping employees, basically putting him out of business. All of the abducted employees of his were from Nicaragua, and they had valid work permits and no criminal records. Scardina even got emotional during the interview, saying that he considers many of these people his friends and has gotten to know their families. Talk about being out of touch with reality. Needless to say, he says he has some buyer's remorse.
The Trump admin and ICE are not deporting hardworking illegal immigrants from farms and small businesses.
Well, you're obviously not going to take it from me. We've only been telling you a million fucking times now that yes, he is going after hardworking people, not just criminals. If you're not going to believe me, that's fine. I will give it to you from the horse's fucking mouth. Here you go. A Trump supporter himself, a man who voted for Donald Trump, who owns a business, had his whole fucking crew picked up and taken and deported, even though they were here legally. I'll roll the clip.
You voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did. They did everything right. And they all had their work permits. What I understood from what he has said and from what ICE officials have said, that is not at all what they're doing. And then all the representatives of them are stating the same thing. That's not what we're doing. We're going after the criminals. Well, what happened here?
For fuck's sake, even the founder of Latinas for Trump, who worked tirelessly to get Donald Trump elected, came out and said, yo, this is not what I voted for. Granted, I would say that yes, Donald Trump screamed from the rooftops that this was exactly what he was going to do. But many people are waking up to the fact, even his own supporters, to know this man is not just deporting criminals, but rather going after hard-working families, people who are here legally, who are going to their court dates and picking them up and deporting them. And if you don't want to believe me, that's fine, but believe the people who voted for Donald Trump, your own people who are telling you this isn't right. Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
And you see what happens to their family. It's
Your coffee it's gonna become 50% more expensive than what you're paying right now. And the reason behind it is because the president signed today into law 50% tariff against Brazil. And guess where the coffee's coming from? 35% of the coffee is being imported from Brazil. That is what we are importing. The beef, there is a 50% tariff against the beef. That means all those frozen burgers that we are bringing in and the frozen lamb and all that, it's gonna have 50% tariff. The steel is at 50%, but then who cares about the steel? I mean, it's not like we use it every day. But the good news is the orange juice, it is exempt from the tariff. Don't ask me why, we don't know. The United States does import a lot of orange juice from Brazil, but I don't know why. That was, I guess, because everybody drinks it in the morning and it's more like, you know, it's supposed to be like your bread, your butter kind of type of food. So that's where we are dealing with today. So, and that is going to take effect on August 1st. So all this cargo that it's already on the water is going to get hit by 50% as soon as it arrives into the United States. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't deviate from paying the duties and the tariff. The only way to go around it is to reroute your shipments to Mexico or to Canada until you find a solution, or to put it in a specific type of warehouse until you figure out what to do. Most of our customers today were really worried about what they're going to do with the product that is coming in here. Their customers are not they're not wanting to pay the 50% tariff. They're basically saying it's their problem as exporters and from Brazil, I mean. So now this is the whole entire issue. I have one customer, he has about 4 containers on the water, and guess what? His customer just canceled the entire order. So that's the news of the day. I guess it's another day in logistics. So yep, that's what we're gonna talk about it for the entire week. Hopefully we can help these people out and see what we can do with it. So cheers.
Maga, let this be a lesson to you that you shouldn't let it get this far. It's already gone too fucking far. And here's the thing. You fucking people that are like, oh, I didn't vote for this. The fuck you didn't. You voted for this. You wanted this. But in the Republican world, and as a woman who worked in politics for 22 years, trust me, I fucking know Republican world. In a Republican world, if it doesn't happen to you or people that you love and respect, then it never happened. It's a lie. That's never happened. And that's the fucking problem. Republicans, you need to wake the fuck up. This is happening to people. Before it has to happen to you on a personal fucking level, I need you to wake the fuck up. I need you to see that this is happening outside your world, and that you're going to do something about it. I know it's very scary. It'll be very, very scary, but fucking do something about it. It's pathetic. It's pathetic as fuck. It's 2025. I should not have to talk to American citizens like this, but here I am. Here the fuck I am, talking to you guys like this. Do better, be better, and your sky daddy's fucking disappointed in you.
I have some bad news for you. Trump's 50% tariffs on Brazil are going to make your coffee more expensive. And coffee inflation has already been in the double digits this year. That's because Brazil is the United States' largest coffee supplier. The US could find other sources, but that will take time Americans aren't willing to give. People want their coffee right now. What's worse, this goes into effect as soon as August 1st, unless Trump makes another taco U-turn. But this time, it's not about trade, it's about punishment, and that's according to Trump himself. Here's the truth. The US has a surplus with Brazil. By Liberation Day logic, Brazil should be the one imposing a tax. If you want more charts like these, sign up for John Author's free newsletter at the link in our bio.
Friends, we do have some extreme breaking news. Trump just slapped a 50% tariff on Brazil. So does that mean coffee prices will explode? So this is the 50% tariff on Brazilian goods effective August. And coffee is not excluded. As you know, Brazil is a huge supplier of US coffee. Experts already warn that prices are already skyrocketing. Some coffee companies say their exposure is limited, but overall inflation and supply chain scrambles are already in motion. Now, why is he doing this, you may ask? He says it's about Brazil getting too cozy with China. As you guys know, Brazil joined BRICS Plus, signed a bunch of commodity deals with Beijing, and they've already announced they're ditching the US dollar. Trump says Brazil is undermining US markets and hurting American farmers by flooding us with cheap imports. Not just coffee, but beef, soy, and more, he says. But here's the twist. The US doesn't even grow coffee in large amounts. This is more about political messaging rather than protecting American coffee. Trump's also using this as a way to fire up his own base, saying it's a part of America's first plan. Just like the China trade war we've all been seeing, now it's Brazil's turn. Bottom line, your coffee is definitely about to cost more. This is real and it starts in August.
In the comments, I'll try to answer.
We have big news right now. Your coffee prices are about to skyrocket in the United States of America because of one thing, Donald Trump's tariffs on Brazil. He announced earlier this week 50% tariffs on Brazil, but we're learning more about the impacts of these tariffs specifically on the coffee sector. If you didn't know, Brazil imports more green coffee beans than any other country in the world to the United States, or rather exports, sorry. In addition, Brazil's coffee beans account for about a third of the coffee supply coming into the United States. That's according to Reuters. Because of that, 50% tariffs will make it very difficult for Brazilian exports to come in. It will make it impossible at the current price, but it'll make it very difficult just generally, placing a strain on the coffee supply coming into the United States, which means that starting on August 1st, coffee prices across the country will go up. And it'll impact not just the Brazilian coffee that's coming in, but also coffee from other countries across South America.
এই ট্রাম্প সমর্থক এখন কঠিন বাস্তবতার মুখোমুখি। জশ স্মিথ মন্টানা নাইফ কোং চালান। তিনি ট্রাম্পকে ভোট দিয়েছিলেন, সম্ভবত ভেবেছিলেন আমেরিকা ফার্স্ট তার মতো ছোট নির্মাতাদের সাহায্য করবে, কিন্তু উল্টো জার্মানি থেকে একটি মেশিন কেনার জন্য তাকে $৭৭,০০০ শুল্ক দিতে হয়েছে, যা তিনি যুক্তরাষ্ট্রে কোনোভাবেই পেতে পারেন না। তিনি সত্যিই ভেবেছিলেন যে ব্যক্তি নিজে একাধিক ক্যাসিনো দেউলিয়া করেছেন, তিনি তাকে এবং তার ছোট ব্যবসাকে সাহায্য করবেন। কি বোকা! বিশ্বে মাত্র দুটি কোম্পানি তার প্রয়োজনীয় ব্লেড গ্রাইন্ডিং মেশিন তৈরি করে, আর তারা দুজনেই জার্মানিতে। ট্রাম্পের ইউ শুল্কের কারণে জশকে অতিরিক্ত 15% শুল্ক দিতে হচ্ছে। তবে অপেক্ষা করুন, আরও আছে। তিনি আগে নিউ ইয়র্কের একটি মার্কিন কোম্পানি থেকে ইস্পাত কিনতেন, কিন্তু সেই কোম্পানি দেউলিয়া হয়ে গেছে, আর এখন তার ইস্পাত আসে সুইডেন থেকে। এবং আপনি ঠিকই ধরেছেন, ট্রাম্প সেটার উপরও 50% শুল্ক চাপিয়ে দিয়েছেন। আগামী বছর থেকে শুরু হবে। ধুর জশ, তুমি তো জেতা থামাতেই পারছো না। সত্যি বলতে, আমি ভেবেছিলাম এই পুরো বিষয়টি আমেরিকান পণ্য আগে কেনা ব্যাপারে। জশ, তুমি কি নিজেই তোমার প্রয়োজনীয় মেশিনটি তৈরি করতে পারতে না? ট্রাম্পের কথা শুনলে তো মনে হয় এটা খুবই সহজ। ট্রাম্প যদি ছোট ব্যবসাকে এতই ভালোবাসতেন, তবে তিনি কেন এমন সব নীতিমালা তৈরি করছেন যা টিকে থাকাকে আরও কঠিন করে তুলছে? আমার মনে হয় যে লোক জীবনে কখনো সফল ব্যবসা করতে পারেনি, তাকে ভোট দিলে সে আপনার ব্যবসা বাঁচাতে বা সাহায্য করতে আগ্রহী হবে না।
এটি আর্থিকভাবে এবং মানসিকভাবেও বটে। না 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 না, তুমি নিজেই এর জন্য ভোট দিয়েছ। আমরা তোমাকে সতর্ক করেছিলাম, আমরা বলেছিলাম এটি কতটা খারাপ হবে, কিন্তু তুমি শোনোনি। তাই এখন এটি নিয়েই থাকো। আজকের ভাবনা, জো বাইডেন। আর তুমি যদি তাকে ভোট দিয়ে থাকো এবং আফসোস না করো, তুমি নিজেও। আজ সেই দিন যেদিন আমি আমার ট্রাকটি ফেরত দিয়েছি। আমি দোকানের খরচ, বীমা এবং এর সাথে জড়িত সবকিছু, কিস্তির টাকা, আমি দেউলিয়া হয়ে গেছি, এভাবে বললে চলে। আমি পুরোপুরি দেউলিয়া হয়ে গেছি। আমি আমার ট্রাক জমা দিয়ে দিয়েছি। আমার ট্রাক। আমি আমার সাধ্যমতো চেষ্টা করেছি। এটি আমার জীবনের সবচেয়ে খারাপ দিন।
আমি হাল ছাড়ি না। এটা কি তুমি? হ্যাঁ, এটা তুমি।
আমি যা বলেছি তা বলেছি। জো বাইডেন সম্পর্কে ভালো কিছু বলো। সে শীঘ্রই মারা যাবে, আর তার
Donald Trump, you are such a great leader. You are just brilliant.
MAGA is having a meltdown right now, and Donald Trump is the reason, as he has betrayed his America First policies. Now, if you missed it, Donald Trump sent $20 billion to Argentina to help them through an economic difficulty and to try to limit Chinese influence on the country. And how did Argentina repay us? By immediately selling millions in soybeans to China, stealing U.S. soybean market. And MAGA is losing it because this is not what Donald Trump promised. He promised we would put America first. And now, because of his trade war that he has no plan to win, no idea how to win, he is betraying all of his promises. But think of this. MAGA, farmers, two voting blocks for Donald Trump are both losing in this situation. So the question has to be asked. How many more times will you believe Donald Trump? How many more times will you believe Republicans before you realize they're lying to you, except...
Thought of the day. Joe Biden. And if you voted for him and don't regret it, you too.
Today's the day that I turned my truck in. I between the shops and the insurance and everything else that goes with it, the payments, I went broke. Put it mildly, I just went broke. I turned my truck in. Love my truck. I tried my best. It's the worst day of my life.
I don't give up. Is this you? Yeah, that's you.
I said what I said, Joe Biden. Say one good thing about Joe Biden. He'll be dead soon, and then...
May you forever live in this energy that you created for yourself. May you have the day you deserve for the rest of your life.
It's financially as well as emotionally. It takes a toll.
Vincent, you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
He thought the Trump administration was going to focus solely on deporting criminals. It seems immigration officials, he says, are just trying to meet quotas now. 6 Nicaraguan men who on May 27th were detained along US 1 in Sugarloaf Key.
Trump supporters are regretting their vote after losing their businesses. So running a small business has never been easy because every business owners hopes that the leader that they will vote is going to create a better economy where company can grow, customer can spend more, and families can build a better future. So that hope, it led many small businesses owners to support Donald Trump, believing his economic policies would help them succeed. But today something is different. Some business owners are telling a different story. They say their profit has fallen, costs have risen, and keeping their doors open has become harder than ever. So for some, the biggest question is no longer who won the election. It is whether their businesses can survive another year. So let me ask this question. If your business starts falling after voting for a candidate, would you blame your vote, or you believe that something else caused the problem? You can tell us in the comment section below. So the title mentioned that some people ignore warnings from black Americans. During recent election, many black voters and community leaders expressed concern about the direction of the economy. So healthcare and policies affecting working class family. So they argue that economic decisions should be judged by how they affect ordinary people, not just the stock market or large corporation. So at the time, many Trump supporters disagree. So they believe tax cuts, fewer regulation, and pro-business policy will benefit everyone. So for many business owners, those promises sounded like exactly what America needed. However, the economic is rarely controlled by one president alone. So inflation, interest rates, global supply chains, labor shortage, international conflict, and decisions made by Congress all influence how business perform. That means when a business struggle, there is unusual no single cause. So some business owners now admit that they focus too much on political slogans and not enough on preparing for economic uncertainty. So some others says they underestimated how quickly rising operating costs could affect their profit. But regardless of political belief, many have learned that running a successful business It requires planning for difficult times, no matter who is in the White House, maybe Donald Trump or any other president. Here's another question. Do you think voters pay too much attention onto campaign promises and not enough to long-term economic planning? So you can drop your opinion on that. So let me quickly share my own solution. First, politicians from both parties should focus on helping small businesses through stable economic policy, easier access to affordable loans, and reducing unnecessary barriers that make it difficult for entrepreneurs to grow. Second, immigration and workforce policy should ensure businesses have access to reliable workers while they are maintaining their secure borders, because many industries, especially agriculture, construction, hospitality, depend on a stable labor force. So that's the second. The third, business owners themselves should avoid relying entirely on politics for success. Yes, diversing income, controlling cost, embracing technology, and building emergency saving can make business more resilient during economic downturns. Now, this is the final. Voters should hold every elected president accountable, not just the politician they oppose, because supporting a candidate doesn't mean refusing to question their policies. Democracy works best when citizens are willing to praise good decisions and criticize bad ones, regardless of the party. So here is the biggest question: should loyalty to a political party ever be stronger than loyalty to the family financial futures? So in the end, this story is not about Republican, Democratic, or Black Americans. Maybe they are right or wrong. It is about the importance of listening to different perspectives before making decisions that affect our future. Sometimes the best ideas come from people we disagree with. And when businesses begin to close and family begin to struggle, it reminds us that economic reality doesn't care about political futures. I think that's my own opinion. If you have any opinion, drop it down in the comment section below and I'm going to read it. Thanks for watching, guys, and bye.